Trust, LLC, where I prepare wills, trust, power of attorneys, and advance medical directives. If you or someone you know needs a will, a trust, or assistance administering an estate, call me at 202-772-1988. That's 202-772-1988. This program is also brought to you by my sponsor, Equity Resources, at 10G Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 202-621-6632. If you want to sell your home, if you're a lawyer or anyone who has clients that have home to sell, call Equity Resources. They will buy your home quickly and for cash. So call them for any property in the metropolitan area, 202-621-6632. As you hear me say every week, law is powerful. It can help you or it can hurt you. It impacts everything you do. What you don't know can hurt you, and what you do know empowers you. So each week, Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell aims to empower you by bringing you professionals who know the law to enlighten and teach you. All of our programs are archived on my website at lawtalkwithethelmitchell.com. So if you missed a program, go there, and the programs are posted within 72 hours of their airing. We want you to be part of the conversation. My executive producer, Stacy Royster, is standing by throughout the program to pass along your comments or questions. Call us at 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. Tweet us at LawTalkEM and like us on Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell on Facebook. I must remind you that what you hear on this show is for information purposes only. No attorney-client relationship is established by anything said on the show. Each person's circumstances are different, so you must seek individual counsel for any situation for which you need legal advice. So let's get started. Our guest, Attorney Donald Temple, is uniquely qualified to advise my listeners on what to do when you're stopped by the police. Disparities in the enforcement of criminal laws against black and Hispanic men exist throughout the country. I'm going to ask him to teach us, what do you do when you are stopped in your car, on the street, or wherever. First, let me tell you about our guest. Donald M. Temple is the principal of Donald Temple, P.C., a Washington, D.C. law firm whose practice areas include civil and commercial litigation. The first in his family to attend college and law school, D.T., as he is affectionately called, received his bachelor degree from Howard University, law degree from the University of Santa Clara, and a master's in law in international and constitutional law from Georgetown University Law Center. He also studied at the René Cassin International Institute for Human Rights in Strasbourg, France. He is admitted to practice law before state and federal courts in the District of Columbia and Pennsylvania, the United States District Courts in the states of Maryland and Michigan, the 3rd, 4th, and Federal Circuit Courts of Appeal, and the U.S. Supreme Court. Mr. Temple has been in private practice for almost 20 years. Prior to entering private practice, Mr. Temple served as senior counsel to the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on the District of Columbia under the chairmanship of the Honorable Ron Dillams. Inspired by two contrasting figures, the late Cecil B. Moore, Esquire of Philadelphia, and Mother Teresa, Mr. Temple believes in public service. He has sued many corporations, retail stores, hotels, local governments, and even law firms. The Washington City paper called him a silver-tongued lawyer. He stopped police dog biting cases some 15 years ago in Prince George's County. He has successfully challenged glass ceilings and other discriminatory job-related practices, and successfully litigated police brutality cases in the District of Columbia and in Prince George's County, Maryland. D.T. is best known for his coinage of the term consumer racism in his litigation of the Eddie Bauer case. That case is still used in department stores throughout the nation. He founded the D.C. chapter of Concerned Black Men, now over 36 years old, which members have included several prominent local judges and the Attorney General of the United States. He also founded Congressional Black Associates, which is now 36 years old, and Ubiquity Social Fellowship at Howard University 41 years ago. In 1983, he started the 21st Century PAC and organized the first national fundraisers for former mayors Wilson Goody and Harold Washington Good. Donald has served on numerous boards, including the Washington Bar Association and Archbishop Carroll High School in Washington, D.C. He is a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity and Friends of Rankin Chapel. Donald Temple has appeared on numerous television and radio shows and received high commendations for his public service and legal work, including the National Bar Association's Gertrude E. Rush Award, the Washington Bar Association's Charlotte E. Ray Award, and the National Black Law Students Association's Cora T. Walker Award. He is the father of two daughters, Kyra and Imani. Welcome to Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with our listeners. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. This program seeks to tell people what their rights are and how to use the law proactively. So if you don't mind, let's start with a situation that is faced by many people, especially men and boys of color, black and Hispanic. You're driving your car, the police put on their lights, and they pull you over. What should you do?
First of all, I wanted to thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
We could have done without that long bio.
Well.
Taking up half of your show.
No.
But I think that's an important question because so many young men, Latino and black men, encounter the legal system, and that encounter, the police stop, is often abused by police, and police are very aggressive and also very stereotypical. And at that particular point, the encounter can go one of two ways. It can become confrontational, which then is a red zone for young people, or I think it should be a sense that young people are much more keen, much more alert to what can happen at that police stop. And so I advise not only young people, I advise people across the board that when you're stopped by the police, you have to be on alert. You cannot beat the police in that situation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If a confrontation starts, you cannot win that confrontation, and one thing leads to another, and the police have an arsenal of charges that they could then launch against you, and that's how come so many young people get into the system, whether it's disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, or in some situations if there's a physical altercation, it's assault on a police officer. I chaired the D.C. Civilian Complaint Review Board here in D.C. Between 1990 and 1993, and heard literally several hundred, if not 1,000 plus complaints of police misconduct. And so I got a sense to really get into the mindset of the officers and the civilians. So what I suggest to people is when they're stopped is, number one, to wind their window down. If it's in the evening, put their lights on and put their hands on the steering wheel.
Why do you put your lights on?
Okay, because what you're telling the police generally is that, okay, you can look into my car and you can see. First thing is that if you do that, it's going to trigger a reaction from the police, because generally people are hostile or engaging. If your lights are on and your hands are on the steering wheel and your window is down, when the police come, they sense that you are not an atypical person, that you have a sense of the situation. And then after that, it's about communication, and respect. You can be pissed off to the highest level of festivity. Okay, and I understand. Why is this cop stopping me? Right? But that's not the reaction. The reaction is control. And when your hands are on the steering wheel, a police officer can't say, well, particularly with young men, black and brown men, well, he was moving his hand in a furtive gesture, he was doing this or he was doing that. His hands are on the steering wheel, and the communication will then go something like this. The cop will come and say, hey, I'm stopping you, boom, boom, boom. And you say, well, officer, my license is in my back pocket. Can I retrieve it? Or you can say, hey, why are you stopping me? At the same time, for your own reasons, it's always critical to get a sense of.
Keep going.
It's always critical to get a sense of logistics, and so I'll stop for a minute. Okay.
Okay, we'll have to go to a break until just a moment.
It's gonna give me 2 minutes.
1450 WOL, where information is power.
Well, aren't you the savvy blogger? Updating, editing, commenting. You're so busy uploading pictures of food that you forgot to actually eat some. Time for a break. And lucky for you, deliciousness is right at your fingertips with the new Bacon Clubhouse from McDonald's. 100% beef, one-of-a-kind Big Mac sauce, all on a warm artisan roll. It's the first discovery you've made that you won't actually share. A break this intriguing deserves both hands. The Bacon Clubhouse, a new breakthrough in break time. At participating McDonald's.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-943-1356. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and buses, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-943-1356. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-943-1356.
If your child is choking, stand behind them and wrap your arms around their waist. Place the thumb side of your fist against their upper abdomen. Put your other hand over the fist. Now press the fist into your child's abdomen with a quick inward and upward thrust. Repeat quick thrusts until object and airway.
You know how to help your child if they're choking, but do you know how to help them if they have a drug problem? Visit drugfree.org for information, help, and advice.
A message from the partnership at drugfree.org and Prevention First.
Dish Network is now offering more reasons than ever to switch to Dish. You get more options, more value, and more channels with the best picture available anywhere. And now you get more for less with the best deal Dish has ever offered. With packages starting at just $19.99 per month, call now for free next-day installation in many areas and free HD for 2 years. Call now and get HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars free for 3 months. Call today because for a limited time, when you subscribe to Dish, you'll also get a free upgrade to the most advanced HD DVR on the market, the Hopper, allowing you to record up to 2,000 hours of programming on 6 different channels at once. Call 888-210-8855 today and take advantage of the best deal Dish has ever offered. Call 888-210-8855. That's 888-210-8855. More ways to watch, more ways to save, and it's only from Dish. Call 888-210-8855 today.
Hey parents, do kids think you're out of touch because of the way you dress?
Yes.
Well, say hello to instant style with Fashion On. Just spray Fashion On whatever you're wearing and look cool in an instant. Turn orthopedic shoes into vintage high tops, pleated khakis into skinny jeans. Even clip-on ties become fly gold chains. Just spray, let it dry, and presto.
What about my fanny pack?
You mean your hip MP3 player?
Wow.
What about my bifocals?
You mean your hot pink shutter shades?
Hey, I can't see.
But your kids can see you, and trust me, they see fashion.
Thanks, Fashion On.
Fashion On is not available in stores because it doesn't exist. But that's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it. You could junk it. Or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-943-1356. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a non-profit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-943-1356. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now. 1-800-943-1356. That's 1-800-943-1356.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Hello. Before we took our break, or the station took their break, Attorney Temple was explaining to us what you should do in the situation when the police stop you. Would you continue, Attorney Temple?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, we were at the point where once the police stop you, and it's just a question about understanding control, and it's about communication fundamentally. And so what I was urging or suggesting is that the driver and or the passenger make a note of the logistics. Where am I? Who is the officer? Get a description of the officer. Immediately note an officer's demeanor. And when you are cooperative, that usually influences demeanor. Everything should be good afternoon, good morning, yes sir, yes ma'am, may I help you please? Can you tell me why I was stopped? Even if you are told that you're being stopped for something that you didn't do, it doesn't mean that you at that particular point in time should get into an altercation. Well, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Basically cooperate. If you want to ask questions, etc., note the badge number.
Okay, that's important.
Note the vehicle number, because sometimes when things happen, people are so intense about a situation, they don't recall the officer, the badge number, the car number, and the like. The other thing you should know is that anytime you're stopped, there are radio runs, and these radio runs are documented. So when you know the time and the date, you can usually get a copy of the information.
Okay.
So generally,
that's the time.
That's pretty much how a stop should happen, and then you go on after you deal with after the stop, and you're off. You can, challenge the situation to the extent that you want.
Now, suppose that the police officer says to you that they want to search your car.
Actually, it certainly depends. I mean, I'm not giving anybody any particular legal advice, but it depends on what's in your car. On one hand, the light on in the car in the evening is a signal to the police officer that you can look in my car and see that there's nothing in the car. And your hand on your steering wheel so that you didn't throw any drugs or that anywhere, and there's no furtive gestures, they call them. Usually, certainly in that particular situation, there's no basis, and the police officer does not have a right to search your car.
Okay.
Unless they see that you've done something that's criminally suggestive. And so I don't think that you necessarily have to give us a right to search. And you can engage an officer. I'm not giving you a right to search my car. And I want to be clear about that. So if you have a warrant,
so you can politely say,
you don't have a right. And if the officer insists on searching the car, you say, you noted. I did not give you a right to search my car.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So now, what should you not say?
You shouldn't. Well, I operate on the premise of what you should say. I mean, you should be A, thoughtful, B, cooperative, and you should be courteous. I mean, no matter how hostile an officer is, an officer can provoke you. I mean, there's some officers who are very hostile, very nasty, very rude, and keep your control.
Yes.
It's all about control, because an officer can engage you and provoke you, especially with young people who oftentimes are upset once you get stopped. I mean, I've seen the situations, I've been in the situations where, you say, hey, listen, excuse me, officer, thank you, officer, just keep your cool, and they say, officer, or yes, sir. And the critical thing is, I think, for young people is when they're using nomenclature like yes sir, yes ma'am, it throws the officer for a curb, and because officers are also making judgments, and the officers are also on the opposite side of the coin. Things happen when officers stop people.
What stopped? Because a lot of people don't realize you can be in trouble just being a passenger.
In the car, and there's a gun under his seat or something like that, and the passenger doesn't know it. 1983 are very, 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 very broad in terms of conspiracy. Because they've been in the room. And certainly if a person, they're not going to say gun or my drugs. So that implicates. I think that to see a rule, be casual about that. If you're with somebody, if you think for a minute, and had lots of young people, lots. You had to, but alert in terms of look at what going on. It's that for this district
for wit, wrong, drugs, and or if they had
they might even get dismissed.
Drug around them, can get
out on a police officer. Notation they have racial. The court was
something that can't add.
Revive done right. Hand for clear. Advisor Fesh just whiteprofs.home. As the whole us, the buggers can do what you want. Is
we can't. Go.
The case happened in 90. Was in a race. So my thinking the trial was the
child the instant predominant
intent. We 50 in 8 briefs. So our was in managing partner in the law firm. And in that movie, they said, "Devil, why you come back as a lawyer?" He said something that was interesting. It's important for our community. He said, "Through the law, I could do all the evil that I really want to do." Well, the law is a framework. We need to understand that whether it's a law in any country, it's a framework for how things happen in terms of people's rights, the distribution of wealth, in particular, the distribution of opportunity. And I think that the law has a heart, it has a soul, it has a passion. And in the United States, the law is a challenge. The system is a challenge. How judges are appointed, how we move a case through the legal system is a challenge. Having the resources to advocate. But I see the law as at this point in time, it's critical for black lawyers to retain the passion and understand the core values associated with the law in terms of how we advance our community's interest. I also think it's important to realize that we're in 2014. And how we see the law amidst other opportunities, in terms of the discipline, the values that we encourage among our own community, the personal responsibility, that comes with it, the opportunities, as we prepare to be more competitive.
We've got to be competitive.
It means that we have to make sacrifices, how we have to also understand law, and then we have to understand education and literacy and making sure that our people don't become stagnant and go to sleep. And Dr. King said freedom requires constant vigilance. But vigilance to me means that the law has to come into play with other things: education, politics, economics.
That's very, very important. I think that when we talked at the conference, you said something that struck me, and you said that in the 20th century, the law helped. We got rid of the laws that were oppressing us, but in the 21st century, we have to help ourselves.
Yeah, what I said was that civil rights and affirmative action got us out of the 20th century. We will have to get ourselves out of the 21st century. That means that we are going to have to develop some new ways of thinking, some changing. We're here in D.C. in a week where there's a whole, there's the 54 presidents of African countries coming to the United States, and for the very first time in our history, we have a 55th president as well who's of African descent. And so our ancestral spirits are calibrated in an incredible way when we have this notion, because Africa should play much more of a greater role in our thinking. We're
then you see how truly great historically we were, because there's no question but that the pyramids and all of the major statues were built by black Africans, okay? Arabs came in later, historically, but they were built by black Africans, and it's important. We have to take another break right now, and when we come back, we will be able to talk a bit more, and we'll have to wind up. Thank you.
1450 WOL, where information is power.
Get face-to-face with the artists and celebrities you care about on theurbandaily.com, your source for the latest in entertainment news, interviews, and reviews. The Urban Daily's exclusive videos bring you face-to-face with the biggest names in music, movies, and TV. Our editors scour the web for the newest tracks and latest gossip. Theurbandaily.com gets you face-to-face with what's new, what's now, and what's next. Theurbandaily.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For free inventors information, call 1-800-497-9975. 1-800-497-9975. That's 1-800-497-9975.
McGruff here.
The crime dog?
Yep.
I think I'm going to need your help. I've got an internet bully.
Okay, well, what you do is...
Maybe you could put a virus on her computer. Or a tracking device. Or a bug.
You don't have to do that, all you...
Or maybe we could get an attack dog. You ever see those attack dogs that can, like, rip a person's arm off? Seriously. Or like a SWAT team. A cyber SWAT team or something. Or like an army. Did you ever see that zombie army movie? We should get a zombie army.
Wait. All you need to do to stop an internet bully is delete their messages and never forward them on.
So, no zombies?
No zombies.
Bummer.
Delete cyberbullying. Don't write it, don't forward it. For more information, visit ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, Crime Prevention Coalition of America, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse, much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-656-9393. That's 800-656-9393. 800-656-9393.
HelloBeautiful.com is the website for today's black woman.
Whether you follow the power moves of Michelle Obama and Oprah,
or just want to keep up with the Braxtons and Basketball Wives.
Whether you need some help with your outfit,
or if you want to clown on someone else's.
Hello Beautiful is helpful hints and guilty pleasures.
Hello Beautiful keeps you connected and gives you a break.
For every part of you, HelloBeautiful.com.
News Talk 1450 WOL-AM, where information is power.
Welcome back. We are here with Attorney Donald Temple. Attorney Temple, what thoughts would you like to leave my listening audience with, please?
I think that the critical thing as we go to the 21st century is that this is going to be a different century, and we already see it. I think we have to change the way we think.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
I think that our thinking is antiquated. We view the world in such a finite context, and post-slavery traumatism gets us into a victimization mode. I think we need to move into the mode where we grasp all these wonderful, challenging opportunities, that we become sensitive to our history, sensitive to the challenges that exist, and the opportunities that exist. You know, we complain, and I say Africa, I want to go back to Africa. There are 50 million black people in the United States. They say we spend $1 trillion, and we spend $1 trillion making other people rich.
Okay.
But when you look at Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Botswana, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, you're talking about another 400 or 500 million Anglophone-speaking Africans.
True.
And then there are the Francophone countries
Mm-hmm.
and the opportunities that are presented there. Our market is dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
We're busy thinking about the United States and getting a job with AT&T or somebody else, but our young people have to look at the world from a futuristic point of view, given the technical and electronic age dynamics, moving out of an industrial age to a place where we realize and maximize our potential. The world belongs to us.
Say that again, please. I want us to understand
The
that.
world belongs to us. But we have to move into the world in a different way. The nut, as I tell my children and my students, the nut is not going to come to the squirrel. You see? and so from a point of view that we have to operationalize, and it starts with how we view ourselves when we look in the mirror, and that God has really blessed us, particularly Black Americans, given our history, to be where we are in this place and time. And we can't squander that, and our young people can't squander that. And they can't squander the great culture that we have.
Yes.
And they have to bring to the table a level of discipline and personal responsibility and intellectual curiosity.
Yes.
You see, and we have to keep that bridge in-house. And so this is a tremendous opportunity for us, and for us with so many brilliant minds here and abroad in South America and the Caribbean. And there's a history there. And it's going to come together. That's the challenge. And I go back to this week. We have to keep our eyes up on this. This is a great week in the history of our experience of our race. And there's going to be some great things happening. But now we have to take it to another level. But if we continue to think the way that we thought in 1990, 1960, it won't happen. And we can, and if we get or buy into
commitment to the legal profession. Attorney Gary has had more than 100 cases that have each had over $1 million verdict. The National Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law honored Kim Keenan, the NAACP General Counsel and past NBA President, with its Distinguished Civil Rights Advocate Award. Reverend Jesse Jackson delivered brief remarks. The Lawyers Committee President and Executive Director, Barbara Arwine, received the NBA's Townsend Award and the NBA Women's Lawyers Division's Walking the Walk, Salute to Women Lawyers Who Are Still Making It Happen Award. There were many other awardees and recipients. Our guest received the Legacy Lawyers Award as well. I didn't know that. Congratulations, Attorney Temple. This is Attorney Ethel Mitchell, and I'm hoping that you will continue to sign in and to listen to us as we bring more and more attorneys and related professionals to engage you and to endow you. The National Bar Association installed its 72nd president on Thursday. It also signed charters with different countries, with Botswana. It chartered a section in Toronto, in Morocco, and also signed a memorandum of understanding with Liberia. I want to hand out kudos to the National Bar Association for continuing to address various areas of legal practice, making an impact and confronting the issues that matter to our community. This is Attorney Ethel Mitchell of Wills and Trust, LLC. As I said to you before, call me if someone that you know needs a will, a trust, power of attorneys, or help with administering an estate. My number is 202-772-1988. My website is www.willsandtrust.net. My sponsor is Equity Resources. If you want to sell your home, be sure to contact them. Their number is 202-621-6632. I want to also remind you, if you have any news, good news that I can share with my listeners, let me know. Family reunions in particular, I'm very, very interested in knowing that and broadcasting when families are strong, because our families are so very strong. And we often don't know about it. We often don't give kudos to each other about the good news that happens in our communities. Many of you have called and told me how much you enjoyed the story of Archie and Nancy Martin of Ames, Iowa, the slaves who housed students going to Iowa State University for over 50 years, and for whom a $25 million dormitory was named at the Iowa State University. If you Google them, Nancy and Archie Martin, on Google and Ames, Iowa, their pictures will come up, which is really interesting. And I'm hoping to bring to my listeners more and more stories about our families and about good things that are happening by our young people in particular as well, because our young people are smart. They are doing really great things. There are many opportunities out there for them that they need to take advantage of, and I want to highlight those things and showcase those things. Because if a kid is trying to do good, I want us to encourage them. We need to honor and respect ourselves. There are many different programs going on. Even for those who are in prison, there are many programs that are going on. There are prison literacy programs that are going on around the country and are trying to be expanded. So let me know about any programs that are helping people. I'm glad to advertise them and talk about them. This has been Attorney Ethel Mitchell of Wills and Trust LLC. Give me a call at 202-772-1988 and listen in next week when we will have Trayvon Martin's family attorney, Ms. Benjamin Crump. Have a good day and have a good week. Goodbye.